Welcome to the first episode of Fireside Chat with Hot. Today we're going to explore the exciting world of NFL free agency, focusing, of course, on the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll discuss the challenges they face, strategies for roster building, and give you some insight into their approach for the upcoming season. So pull up a chair while I stoke the fire, and let's get started. Free agency. Such a crucial cog in any team's machine. It can make or break a team's whole season. One truly bad signing can change the way a front office is viewed. Just think of how well thought of Ziegler was until Chandler James Jones got comfortable in Las Vegas. Free agency provides an opportunity to address specific needs to fill gaps in the lineup, and an opportunity to establish an atmosphere of learning for young players with the addition of seasoned veterans. A good GM is said to be playing chess and not checkers. Well, in this strategic game of chess, the right moves can elevate a team from mediocrity to a Super Bowl contender. So what does the financial landscape look like for the Raiders as they set sail on these uncharted waters? With the release of players like failed juicer Jimmy Garoppolo, Hunter Renfrow, Jerry Tillery, and Brandon Faison, and the reworking of contracts for Max Crosby and Colton Miller, the Raiders are projected to be a whopping $100 million under the cap. For new GM Tom Telesco and old new GM Champ Kelly, this power comes with great responsibility. They must be prudent with their spending, being careful to weigh the cost of each potential signing against the expected contribution. Overspending on a single player could limit their ability to strengthen the team in other areas. If you're a fan, and you're still here, so I'm guessing you are, you know what positions this team must address. First and foremost, we need to find our QB1. Then, we need a dominant D tackle that can provide interior pass rush without being a run liability. We need a true high-level outside corner.
99 coming off the edge. And throwing. He's unbelievable.
Even though I still would like to keep him for depth, we can't settle. We need to upgrade at the guard position. With us looking like we're letting Andre James walk and moving Parham to center, we need more than one interior lineman. With Munford returning at right tackle, we still need some vet depth, a piece that could start at right tackle on a pinch. We also need to take a look at what we have in second-year player Dalton Wagner. We may yet bring Josh Jacobs back, but either way, we need a pass-catching speed back to complement the bruising running style of our feature back. Zeus was a pleasant surprise at the end of last year, and the draft and free agency are deep at the position, so this may get interesting. The Raiders find themselves in a promising position ahead of free agency. Significant cap space means we have the financial firepower to bring in key players and build a competitive team. This financial flexibility puts them in an especially strong position to make some significant signings. We must use this power wisely. We need to balance our roster spending, which is heavily tilted to the offense, to ensure that we strengthen the team across the board. Quarterback. Number 1, Russell Wilson. Wilson is a Super Bowl champion, coming off an underrated year after an injury-plagued final year in Seattle. and a lost year in Denver under a clueless regime. With his recent interviews showing a much more serious Russ, with his head shaved and revenge in his heart, the transformation to the dark side is almost complete. Available for the veteran minimum salary, and Denver being on the hook for the balance of his huge contract, I think it's time for Sierra to cut that diss track, and for all the haters to get ready for the Russ revenge season. Number 2. No one. In reality, who else is worth considering? There is no reason for the Raiders to sign an expensive, old, or injured quarterback. We're trying to get to the magical window of cheap Super Bowl caliber quarterback play, and this would put us back on the wheel of mediocrity that plagued us from 2016 until Mark Davis ended the Patriot Way experiment. Any career backup we would sign, like Gardner Minshew, isn't better than the cheap and well-loved second-year quarterback Aiden O'Connell. Cousins, Mayfield, Dobbs, they're all out there, but they don't make a lot of sense for our roster. Defensive tackle. Next, let's take a look at the defensive tackle position. It's a deep free agent class, but expect players like Baltimore's Justin Madubuike and Miami's Christian Wilkerson to be tagged and or quickly re-signed. Starting to look like the same can be said for the fan base's favorite target, Chris Jones. All of these players will command north of $20 million per season, with Chris Jones projected at $28 million a year. Number 1. Leonard Williams. The Seahawks gave up a 2024 second-round pick and a 2025 fifth-round pick for half a season of Williams. With a market value at about $14 million per season, he should be half the cost of a Chris Jones. Already familiar with the system due to his time with Patrick Graham in New York, the lifelong Raiders fan should finally come home. Number 2. Sheldon Rankins. Rankins demonstrates excellent technique. Paired with his quickness, he engages blocks with a low center of gravity, showcasing an ability to drive his blocker backward and disrupt runs and pressure the quarterback. His agility allows him to swiftly move around guards and utilize moves like the inside spin or execute line stunts very effectively. However, Rankins is challenged if reached and then asked to disengage, which can impede his run game effectiveness. Despite this, he's not a liability and maintains relentless effort, driving his legs through contact and until the whistle blows. Number 3. Fletcher Cox. I was ready to look past this old man, as he would be 34 by the time he steps on the field again. But I took a look at the stats. He had 32 tackles, 5 sacks, 26 pressures, 3 tackles for loss, and 3 run stuffs. The old man can still play, and he would allow our young guys like Byron Young, Nesta Jade Silvera, Matthew Butler more time to develop. Number 4. DJ Reader. Reader would be ranked higher if not for the quad tear he had in December. He should be healthy by training camp, but at his age, we need to be cautious. This type of injury has a difficult recovery. When healthy, he rivals Williams as a pure defensive tackle, although Williams offers much more versatility playing up and down the line. Number 5. Denico Autry. For many Raider fans, it was an obvious mistake to let Autry go back in 2018. Losing him, and then also Mack in Gruden's first offseason, set a sour tone. At 34, he's not the player we lost, but he still commands a double team, and could free up Tyree Wilson playing next to him. Cornerback. The secondary boasts talented cornerbacks like Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, and second-year player Jacorian Bennett. However, depth remains a concern, especially with Amik Robertson's free agency looming. While Jones has impressed, the Raiders face an important decision regarding Robertson's future on the team. In my opinion, we need an upgrade. Number 1, Jalen Johnson. A physically gifted and technically sound cornerback, Johnson boasts impressive ball production and lockdown coverage abilities. He excels at preventing receptions, never allowing a completion rate above 60% in his NFL career. However, injuries limited his time in 2022, and contract negotiations promised to drive his price through the roof. Number 2, L'Jarius Sneed. Initially a slot corner, Sneed seamlessly transitioned to playing mostly outside in 2023. He displays impressive stickiness in coverage, effectively blanking receivers and making it difficult for them to create separation. His aggressive nature and ability to play both inside and out make him valuable. But his propensity to draw flags could be a big concern, especially for a team like the Raiders. He's likely to be franchise tagged by the Chiefs and then traded, making him very unlikely to land with the Raiders. Number 3, Chidobe Awuzie. One of the Bengals' successful free agent acquisitions in recent years, Awuzie provided them with a reliable number 1 outside corner. He suffered a torn ACL in 2022, but bounced back last year, showcasing his prior form. With the Bengals investing heavily in young DBs through the draft, Awuzie could be headed back to free agency. Number 4, Kendall Fuller. A lone bright spot in an otherwise lackluster secondary for the Commanders in 2023, Fuller remains a very capable outside corner. His experience playing both the slot and also safety could enhance teams seeking versatility in their defensive backfield. This will be especially true as he ages and transitions within roles. Number 5, Adoree Jackson. Primarily an outside cornerback, Jackson experimented with a move inside in 2023, but ultimately returned to his original position. While injuries have hampered him throughout his career, he possesses intriguing versatility with the ability to play inside and out. He demonstrates good lateral agility and a knack for making plays on the ball, often attempting acrobatic pass breakups. His experience with Graham in New York and having played at USC make him a natural fit with the Raiders and our fan base. In part 2, we will focus on our other team needs: right tackle, guard, and running back. Did I mention guard? We'll explore questions like, should we move Parham to center? Is Andre James a PFF puff? What about Jermaine Illuminor? Is Thayer Munford any good? Is he playing out of position? And the mother of all Raider roster building debates: what do we do with one Joshua Jacobs? To pay or not to pay? That is the question. We will answer that once and for all, and more. We will also cover the hot stove strategy, which will break down who we should consider and how much they will cost as we build out the base of our 2024 roster. What do you think? Are there any players that I should have included? Are there any players that you believe have been under or overrated? I want to hear you sound off in the comments. Make sure to bring the facts to back up your claims, or prepare for responses to be direct, respectful, but challenging. I will respond to every comment, and I will also incorporate your feedback in my following videos. So as I stoke the fire one last time and wrap up this chat, remember, free agency is more than just signing big names. It's about crafting a team, filling gaps, and building a roster capable of going toe-to-toe with the best that the NFL has to offer. With stunning financial flexibility, the Raiders have all the tools they need to do just that. Make sure you stay up to date and don't miss my next video. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. Tell your friends about Hot and share this video with them so they can stay informed and up to date as the Raiders' return to glory continues. Also, look for me as a guest on the fastest growing Raiders content space, the Raider D podcast. I also look forward to working with all of Raider Nation's great content creators to bring you the hot stuff that you need. Until next time, stay warm and look out for more episodes of Fireside Chat with Hot. Good night now.